Hi guys, welcome to the TSD Cricket Daily Live. Once again, we are back with our daily talk show. Not a lot to talk here today. I think there's a World Safety second semi-final that's running right now. There was the Afghanistan-Zimbabwe game, which was pretty identical in terms of the scorecard to the first game. Afghanistan batted first, put up a score just in excess of 190, and I mean, they managed to do bowl. Managed to bowl pretty well. Mohammad Nabi was the man of the match for his incredible all-round exploits. Okay, so that is. I mean, that's a pretty brief just from what we have from that game. The Sri Lankan legends seem to be about to book their place in the Road Safety World Series semi-final. So it seems like an India Sri Lanka repeat after 10 years. So that should be something to look forward to. Hi Nathan, we have Nathan and Kushagra to join us. I think yes, the discussion is predominantly going to be about about tomorrow's game, obviously, but I'll come straight to Kushagra if you can hear me. Just, I mean, what we're listening from, I think, Raipur right now is that Sri Lanka Sri Lanka is about to defeat. I think it's just 7 runs to get in the next 4 overs. So, what do you make of that? I mean, an India Sri Lanka final again, 10 years after, which game?
Yeah, man. I mean, deja vu, right? History has a
Yeah,
funny way of repeating itself, isn't it? And a lot of players
yeah,
who actually played in that final might actually be competing against each other, which would
yeah,
be something, which would be a sight to behold, wouldn't it? So,
yeah,
I mean, we weren't really taking the Road Safety World Series very seriously. I personally did not take it seriously at all last year as
yeah,
well. Just felt that they were exhibition matches. While they are exhibition matches, it's just they're
it's,
laced with nostalgia, aren't they? I mean, they're
yeah,
laced with nostalgia in the sense that you look at those players, you look at the players you've seen while growing up, the
yeah,
idols that you've idolized and all, and
yeah,
all of them are there on the field back again. Yuvraj Singh doing his thing, and Virender Sehwag, Sachin Tendulkar, Mohammad Kaif, Vinay Kumar, Goni. The list goes on. Naman Ojha. I mean, you got Pragyan Ojha and all. So
and
it's
by
just
the way,
lovely to see all of them.
the Sri Lankan openers for this final could be Upul Taranga and Tilkaratne Dilshan, the very opening pair that came out in the 2011 final.
And the Indian opening combination could be Sachin and Sehwag, which is also the same opening
Same one,
combination.
yeah,
So yeah, and you've got Irfan and all there for company as well. So I mean,
yep,
it's just amazing. It's just amazing how things have gone, how things have panned out there, isn't it? So we're really interested and really excited in watching this match. India did beat Sri Lanka in the group stages, so one would hope that
yeah,
that performance comes through. But very happy. I think it's been a success. It's been a massive success. The Road Safety Legends World Series. So let's
yeah,
see if we can carry that on. If we can see even better matches in the semis and the finals. And I think that's fun, isn't it? And as far as Afghanistan Zimbabwe is concerned, Anurag, I mean, I must add, I
yep,
mean, I know these are not two. I mean, Zimbabwe and Afghanistan do play Test cricket. I wouldn't call them regular Test countries, but amongst
yeah,
non-irregular Test countries, this is one of the most exciting series I've seen in a long while.
yeah. It is. I mean, Afghanistan seemed to be having that edge, especially with the white ball. The red ball series was a little more competitive, at least. I mean, it was topsy turvy in as far as the balance was concerned. But welcome to Subhajit. I mean, talking about the Road Safety World Series, we have someone who was there to witness it from close quarters. I think Subhajit came home early. From Raipur, but Subhajit, Sri Lanka is winning the game. That's exactly what I was talking to Kushagra about. It seems like it could be the same old final to repeat. India Sri Lanka just exactly 10 years after that game in Wankhede, and Kushagra was also addressing the same thing. But how fun was that just to be in Raipur and all of that? I mean, it's been a while since we've had you, and you witnessed some very good cricket there.
No, exactly. It was a lot of fun because especially you got to see the heroes you watched while growing up, and
Yeah,
watching the likes of Dulkar, Lara, all these guys bat, and it was fantastic. And Sri Lanka is a very strong team. They might end up winning the tournament. And even last year, if you remember, when Sri
yeah,
Lanka were playing India, I mean, it needed a special knock from Irfan Pathan to actually bail
yeah,
India out. They were not in a great situation, and Sri Lanka is extremely. It's a very strong side. The other reason being, if you see Upul Tharanga, he has I think just retired like a month back,
Yeah.
and he is playing competitive cricket, and he looks to be in a in a different league altogether. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that if it's India Sri Lanka, then Sri Lanka have the edge.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much done. It's 4 to win in 20 balls right now for Sri Lanka. And as
Yeah.
far as the last year's game was concerned, I was lucky enough to be in that stadium. It was in Navi Mumbai back then. Uh, what a fun game that was. Things have changed. It's all right. We will also talk about the India England series, Subhajit, because since we've not had you for a long time, we have plenty of talking points there. But we'll come to Nathan first. Nathan, how's it going? I mean, yesterday was not really the greatest of days. I mean, for England, I mean, it was a great game. Obviously, I think we all could acknowledge that. Is that Bairstow has that Bairstow anger, sunk in as yet?
It makes a bit of a difference for it to be the ODI. It's not well, one day is rather than the test arena. I was the thing is though. I
Yeah,
think as well it takes the jokes out of me and Johnny Bairstow. I think because that
yeah,
sort of it was that close and high skill game. That error looks a lot
yeah,
bigger than if it was in one of the first couple of games. I
yeah,
said Dick, 'cause I was thinking back to I was watching rugby a while back, and there was like 3 mistakes in the whole game. Everything else was absolutely brilliant, but those
yeah,
3 mistakes happened quite a lot. But because they
yeah,
only happened 3 times in the whole 80 minutes, it really got highlighted. So that's probably where
yeah,
my anger to Bairstow was yesterday. If he takes us home tomorrow, all is forgiven, and I'll forget about
yeah.
his Test career.
Okay, okay.
Doesn't
I
get
mean,
balls.
that's all right, all right. I think we also have a little bit of an update from BCCI today. The ODI squad was confirmed. I think it was before mentioned, but I think there was another confirmation today. So Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, as always, captain and vice captain. There's Dhawan, Gill, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh, KL, Chahal, Kuldeep, Krunal. Krunal Pandya has been called for the ODI squad. That's a interesting thing. Washington Sundar, there's Natarajan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna is a part of the team now, so that should be interesting. And there is Shardul Thakur. So as it stands, I think Jasprit Bumrah is gonna continue to stay outside. I think the next we'll be watching him is directly in the IPL. So again, the bowling looks a little more. I don't know. I mean, from an Indian perspective, it looks a little bit challenging. Let's see how that transpires. Natarajan, okay, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So Suvajit, yesterday's game was quite. I mean, we were all talking about it on social media. I mean, we've had some. There weren't like any debates, but incredible amount of rage, especially with the kind of decision making that was happening. There was Sky making his such a skyer of a debut. Uh, it was a brilliant game, wasn't it? I mean, the first two games, it was the first three games, in fact, they were pretty one-sided. But the fourth T20, that is exactly what we expect from India and England, wasn't it?
It was a very good game, but yeah, I mean, I think with Surya Kumar Yadav, I think it was more about the emotions because we all
Yeah,
desperately wanted him to go out there and play, and when he was in middle of that kind of a knock, and to get out like that was a bit of shame. So probably everybody vented out
yeah,
their anger on social media. It was a good game, but to be honest, like yeah, for from an Indian fan perspective, I was extremely happy. But honestly, you expect England to win these games because if you see 185 on that particular surface was not really a very big total. There was this dew factor. India were without Jasprit Bumrah.
yeah,
The ball was slipping out, and uh, uh, to be honest, I think they made a mess of the chase, and we keep talking about England being the invincible, limited overs unit. What they are, I mean, they should have actually, probably won the series 4-1. So
yeah,
I think India has done, and when we talk about India, we keep on see. On a personal note, I feel that India do not get a lot of things right when it comes to T20 format.
Yeah,
Again, the approach is very much a ODI like approach, where you take your time to settle in. We don't cash in the power play, and we have been making far too many mistakes, and where
yeah,
so I think we don't have a specific focus on this particular format, or I mean, not having focus would be you know some I think that the better way to put it would be probably we do not do the we do not we make some strategic errors, and
yeah,
we see look at an English side, we say everything is perfect, like we have not too many teams have a specialist T20 player like they have in David Malan, and
yeah,
who just plays one particular format. इंडिया में ऐसा नहीं होता है, like इंडिया में you have a Natarajan who has done well in say suppose IPL. We see him as a prospect for ODIs. Like
yeah.
uh, we see the IPL performance all limited overs, which is also the 50 over cricket. But England with so much of focus, I think they should have done better. Yeah.
Indeed, I think that definitely makes a lot of sense, especially considering yesterday there was a point when it was 44 to win in 24 balls when I think Virat Kohli left the field and Rohit Sharma took over all of that. At that point, it was, I mean, 44 in 24 balls with Ben Stokes and Johnny Bairstow in the middle. I don't think that was really much of a task for England, but I mean, luckily we managed to conjure up something out of from nothing there. I'll just take a few comments before coming back to you guys. Smriti Mandana on the 100, Masoom says BCCI and ECB are in talks for the 100. It will all depend on the schedule, and India matches would be the priority for us. Let's see how the talk goes. Okay, I think this is about the women's participation in the 100 that ECB is going to be organizing very soon. Let's see what happens there. Harmanpreet Kaur has been ruled out. Okay, there was some some jeopardy over that. I think she left midway through her innings in the fifth ODI. If people, just in case people did not know, Harmanpreet's dismissal and not dismissal when she got retired, her that's when the game changed in the fifth ODI against South Africa. Apparently, she's going to be ruled out, and Smriti Mandana will be captaining. So let's see what happens there. Ryan says, "Come on, India, let's make it 3-2." Thank you so much, Ryan, again for joining. England have been fined 20% of their match fee for maintaining a slow over rate. I think yeah, this was quite pretty apt yesterday. Usually we used to go live 10:30, 10:45. Yesterday we went at 11:15, and that was exactly when the game was finished. I mean, just a little bit of a TSD context, but yeah, they were late. Bangladesh to play two tests versus Sri Lanka in Kandy on April 21st and 29th, respectively. I think this is right in between the IPL. I mean, not a lot of
Just a little bit of a
Bangladeshi and
TSD
Sri Lankan
context, but
reps.
yeah, they were late. Bangladesh to play two
That that
tests
that
versus.
does
Yeah, yeah.
does Shakib get released?
Bangladesh. I don't know. I think that's going to be the interesting part. I totally forgot there's Shakib. Okay, now that makes for an interesting case, isn't it? We'll look into that. We'll look into that. कुशाग्र प्रो शादी में जा रहा है क्या? शादी में जा नहीं रहा, ऑलरेडी है उधर. थोड़ा टाइम निकाल के बस इधर आ गया बिकॉज और कोई है नहीं. लुकिंग स्मार्ट. There's a Shashank says, pick best 11 for India. Age should not be criteria. Tendulkar. Oh, yeah, in fact, that's true. Goni mat bola. You know, we're not talking about Goni. Prasidh Krishna, Shubman Gill, Krunal Pandya in for ODIs. Yes, I think this maiden. I don't know about Shubman has been part of the ODI setup before, but Prasidh Krishna and Krunal Pandya, they're getting a call up for the first time. All the best to both of them. Finn Allen will be playing for Lancashire in the upcoming T20 Blast. Okay, yeah, Finn Allen. I think a lot of the RCB fans are going to be watching him quite carefully in the next few months. Let's see what happens there. No Mayank, Manish, and Saini. Yes, that's quite a news. Unnecessarily ignoring Saini. Prasad was way back in the league for selection. Out of nowhere he came. Didn't expect. Yeah, Shashank, I think, but what they are looking at Prasidh Krishna as a pacer who can. I mean, it's pretty much similar to what Saini offers, isn't it? He's also a bowler who can bowl 140 clicks on a regular basis.
Anurag.
Let's see.
To be
Yeah,
fair to
yeah,
Prasidh Krishna, in my humble opinion, I would say that he's way more consistent than Navdeep Saini with the white ball. I think he's got
yeah.
better control of his line and length, and I think he's got more variations than Navdeep Saini. Navdeep Saini is more like I'll pick the length and I'll bowl on that length and I'll bowl incredibly quick on that length. I'll make it hostile for you. But if you
Hmm.
start hitting me on that length,
then I'll find it tough to change my length and line and try to get you into trouble. But Prasidh Krishna, he took 14 wickets in 7 matches in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. It's not like
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was completely unexpected. I felt like it
yeah,
was still, I mean, it's still something that could be done. So,
yeah,
I mean, fair enough. I would just congratulate the lad, man. First
yeah,
ever call up on the Indian team. Even when I speak, I have goosebumps. Imagine
yeah,
what Prasidh must be feeling right now. So,
yeah.
I just congratulate the young lad. I mean, well done, sir.
Mm.
Congratulations.
Totally, totally. Pavan just says hi, hi, Pavan. Masoom, yesterday India produced the first instance of 5 players starting with a boundary. First ball boundary in a T20 innings. Rohit with a 6, Sky with a 6, Iyer with a 4, Shardul with a 4, and Sundar with a 4. Okay, I mean, there's a little bit of a change in approach there. चलो आज ज़्यादा मूड नहीं है क्रिकेट टॉक्स कल बात करेंगे. Okay, Shashank I think is leaving. It's just 6 minutes back. Let's see if he's still in the conversation. Masoom Jain, is he good? I think Nathan, who are you talking about in this particular comment?
Alan.
Finn Allen. Okay. Yeah, he's been scoring a lot of runs in New Zealand, especially in the New Zealand domestic circuit and in the few T20I games that he got to play in recent times. He's been scoring a lot of runs, and I think RCB signed him up as well in the IPL, if I'm not wrong, as a replacement. If anyone can correct me on this, uh, it's just slipped my mind. But he's been picked up in the IPL as well. So I think
Yeah,
apparently
for
he's one of
Joshua
the
Phillip.
for Joshua Phillip. Yes, I think Phillip has been injured, or I think he's uh, called himself back. I don't remember, but he's a part of RCB as well. So let's see.
Sounds
As many as
promising.
20 players. I'm sorry.
So I just saying it sounds Finn sounds quite a promising signing for us then.
Yeah. Yep, he does. He does sound so. As many as 20 players hit a boundary or took a wicket in the yesterday's game. The only two players, with neither of them were captains, Virat Kohli and Owen Morgan. All right, all right. England contract system isn't working. Too many anomalies in recent years. Penny for Joe Root's thoughts about Moeen Ali's ongoing omission from the T20 side that took precedence. I mean, I think does it really matter, Amit? I mean, they still have like a bomb of a squad. I know there are some loopholes in both sides. I mean, India isn't even playing its best bowling attack, to be honest. But again, let's see. I think Nathan and Masum had just about a confirmation chat there. Yo guys, waiting for my room to be set and be in action tomorrow, says Pratmesh. I think he just shifted his house, so yeah, he'll be back soon. Tongs the ball well, says Shashank. Yes, he's quite a good striker. Finn Allen. VK out, unnecessary dropping the next obvious captain of India. Navdeep Saini is trying to get rid of his competitions again and again. Okay, we are having a lot of uh,
Rahul Chahar and Navdeep Saini. That's the future leadership group.
yeah. I mean, okay, no comments there. No comments. Shashank apparently is pretty upset with the fact that there is no Prathamesh. All right, all right, all right. Chalo, bye. Okay, bro, bye. क्या ही करे अभी. Alan's performance was amazing in Super Smash. Let's see if he gets a chance in IPL or not. I mean, it's going to be a little difficult, Masum, isn't it? I mean, they have quite a good core to pick a foreign quadrant from there. So I think it's going to be a little tough for Finn Allen to fit into that four-man overseas slot. But let's see. You never know how the tournament pans out. Fabian Allen finished the game. Is it Finn Allen? Okay, sorry, it's Finn Allen. Sorry. It's Finn Allen finished a game in the last series versus Sri Lanka. Yes, he's been batting well. That's exactly what I was mentioning before. Things I have learned about T20 rankings, they're stupid. Fact, it's number one. Malan is the highest ranked T20 batsman in the world. Fact two, Washington is the highest ranked T20 bowler above Bumrah. I mean, Amit, one thing I can add, I think it keeps fluctuating depending upon the player's availability and all of that. I mean, Bumrah has not been playing a lot of T20 cricket of late, so you can give that a slack. Yeah.
Bumrah generally takes a rest in the T20 series generally anyway, isn't it?
He
I mean,
doesn't care.
I know, I agree. And David Malan, up until before the series, he had like an
Was good.
incredible record with like a 99 average or something like that, man. I mean, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they aren't really accurate. I think I mean it's a bit much. It's a bit rich to have T20I rankings because you really don't need them. I mean, you
Yeah.
really don't need the player rankings at least. I mean, if you want to have T20 rankings, have a cumulative rankings of that you decide. Okay, fine. These are the 8 leagues that we are going to consider, and we're also going to consider the T20 matches internationally. Then cumulatively, we'll make a ranking. Then I agree with that. This, like, you have like 5 T20 matches for a team, and then 15 for the other team, and then 2 for one team, and then you got rankings
Yeah.
out of that. So of course, that's a bit much.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some stat a few days back. Apparently, India plays like 6 to 7 T20s per annum, if on an average. So, I mean, obviously, it has changed in the last couple of years with that this 5 match series is coming into picture. But I mean, fair enough. Oh, sorry, I got confused with between Fabian Allen and Finn Allen. Yes. Uh, Kohli is the highest rank. Yes, Kohli is the highest ranked all rounder in the Indian side. That is I mean, God knows this. When did this right arm quick bowler last bowl as well? Come on, man. Sim Simon Duell praised Fabian Allen and said, sorry, Finn Allen. Oh my God, Finn and Fabian. Finn Allen and said he'll open for New Zealand in the next 2 years. Yes. Genuinely happy to see Kalyan and Sojit. Yes. No, sorry, Kalyan. Hi, I forgot to say hi to you. I hope you're doing well.
Hi, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yep.
How are you?
Yeah, bro. I mean, we've been doing nothing but these. Just every night we're coming in live. We're watching cricket.
Yeah,
That's
I've been
pretty much it.
following.
In a sense.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've been following those live.
Yep.
This
Thank you.
Nathan
Thank you
fan
so
clubs
much.
and your fan club.
Oh God, it's all scam. It's all scam. You know that. The Ahil and the Ishan Kishan agenda is back. Apparently, Kal Ishan Fishan. I don't think Ahil. I think I'm not very sure. Ishan is going to play tomorrow. I think it's something. It's sort of in jeopardy. You know, it's a toss of coin sort of a thing. You could see KL or you could see Ishan. We'll get to that debate. I think I'll get that question to Suvajit about KL and his current form and all of that. अब जरा हूँ रुक गया था नेथन भाई को रिप्लाई करना जरूरी है या फाइन Josh Felipe Josh Felipe withdrawn his name. I think it will be 200 plus tomorrow. Hope so. I mean, we haven't seen that in a while. Saini has a bowling average of 75 in ODS. Yes, I think that's pretty much what Kushagra was addressing. What filter is Kushagra Bhai using? It's a wedding filter, I think, if I could say so. Gary Wilson has announced his retirement from professional cricket. I think Gary Wilson has played for both England and Ireland, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's
Yes, he has.
among
Yes, he has.
among a pool of those who've done, including the current English
Just, just
captain.
like, just like, just like the current skipper.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. I mean, all the best for whatever lies ahead for the man.
Anurag,
Yeah.
Boyd ranking comes to mind.
Yeah. He was one of the tallest cricketers, wasn't he? At 1.68 or something.
It is funny.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
eligible to play for. He was eligible to play for Zimbabwe as well. Just saying, heritage-wise.
Obviously, I mean, eventually ended up. I think he was in the Ireland side in that 2011 game as well. Okay, fine, fair enough. Navdeep Saini, how does he deserve to be there over Rahul Chahar, Varun? Yes. Oh, okay. I think Rahul Chahar, Varun. Okay, that was a question to Varun. All right. Nathan, what's new with Preston? Nathan, anything new with Preston?
No, we lost again on Tuesday. It's pretty standard. we rarely win anymore.
All right. Okay. Some good days will be back. Nothing to worry there. Let's see. Saini's average is better than Kohli, Bismith, Lara, Tendulkar, Ronaldo, Messi, Nadal. Let that sink in. Siddharth has had an agenda. He straightforward said, I remember, I think even Suvajit was there in that conversation. I don't know if he remembers, but in the test series review that we were doing, Siddharth straight away came in and said, I don't know why is Navdeep Saini in the side. I don't believe he's going to he's going to help the side a lot. He was very, very straightforward when he said this. And I mean, Navdeep Saini has been fulfilling his agenda quite well there. Kalyan, Nathan need banter. That's what the
That happens
Chinta
every day
needs today.
between us. Yeah.
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 There is a lot of Michael One, Wazim Jaffer stuff to talk about. So obviously there will be some. Hardik has the
So
second
here,
best economy in this.
Nathan
Yeah.
is our Michael one.
Yeah.
Is he our Michael one? Yeah.
Nathan has been consistently
I
saying.
think
yeah.
Nathan will take offense to that, man. Come on.
Yeah. I think in our group, Kalyan, he did mention he absolutely hates Michael One on record.
Yeah,
He said that.
there's limits how far banter can go. Don't call me Michael Vaughan.
All right. Oh God, so no banter for Nathan. There will be some. Where's Anurag fan? Come on, man. Kushagra borrowed the complete light department of Bharat passing by. No, I think it's just sitting at a bar. Yeah.
1 minute. No, I'm not sitting at a bar,
Yeah.
man. Come on, look at this. Look at this. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the
All
light?
right, all right.
I
Fabulous,
just, I
fabulous.
just, I just chose a spot wherein you could see my face. Actually, I'm on the
Yeah,
roof. The internet signal is not
fantastic.
that good.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, we've always had the struggles with the internet, so it's fine. England assistant coach Paul Collingwood has confirmed that Joe Root remains a possibility for T20 World Cup selection this winter, but says Root's workload will play a key part in the decision. I mean,
It's not a
see
bad
if the
decision.
team, yeah,
Root
I will come to you on
averages for
that.
35, I believe. The 35 in T20 internationals with 130 strike rate. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
yeah. All of that is fine, but. Yeah, we'll come to you Kushagra with this. Uh, I think you'll have to push in a few minutes. I understand that. So I get
The
his
unfortunate
workload.
vagaries of the internet, man. I'm so sorry
It's
about that,
it's all
guys.
right. It's all right. It's all right. But if they really believe he can be a useful addition in the side, uh, should workload be an excuse or a reason to put him out of a World Cup as such,
No,
or is
no,
it me
frankly, no.
speaking like 80-year-old purist of the
No,
game?
I mean, no, I'm not. You know, Anurag, we had this
Yeah,
discussion, right? I don't know
yeah,
who it was. I'm forgetting who mentioned that to us.
hmm,
But in the 40s, when India toured England, sorry, in the 30s when India toured England for the
yeah,
very first tour, in a span of 95 days, Anurag, it was told to us they played 73 games, didn't
yeah.
they? I think
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
Arunabas sir, or was it Suvajit? Suvajit, did
Suvajit
you did
mentioned
you?
about the 95 series when we went to
Oh,
Yeah,
England
you're
Suvajit
thereafter.
talking
mentioned about the
about
95 series. Yes.
96
Yeah,
series where in
Yeah.
the month of May they played
Yeah,
every
96 series.
yeah they played
Yeah,
every day.
and
yeah,
exactly. And then Suvjit mentioned that, and I remember in not in a recorded conversation, but in a offline conversation with
Arnaba sir.
Arunaba sir, we had that discussion, and he told us that whenever India used to tour earlier, they used to play like 35 to 40 first class games, whether they were
Yeah,
list day games, whether they were 2 day games, 3 day games, 4 day games, whatever they were, they literally played almost every county when they used to go to
yeah,
England. And so that is like a good 4 month tour. And don't forget, it was 1 month on a steamer going to England. Okay, so it
yeah,
wasn't it wasn't like a nice jolly ride of like a 10-hour, 12-hour flight. It was a month on a boat, man. And
yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
it,
Suvajit.
it couldn't
40
it couldn't
uh,
have been.
Yeah,
so
Suvajit.
in one of the England tours in the late 40s, I think Vinu Mankad he got a double of
Yeah,
1,000 runs and 100 wickets
Yeah,
in the
exactly. So
tour.
in
Yeah.
Suvjit in the tour when he was told by, I think, who was he told by? I think was it uh, I'm forgetting. CK Naidu. I think the CK Naidu sent him that telegram, right? We have 20 other Vinu Mankards in the team. We can't wait for him. So Vinu Mankad had actually signed for a county, and he was
yeah,
asked to join the Indian Test team at the last minute. He said,
yeah,
"This is my livelihood. I can't partake. I can't, make fun of this. I've already signed a contract. There is something called as being honest to my county. So I will play
yeah,
this match. Your match anyway starts 2 days after my match. I will join you 2 days before my match, before the match." And he was
He
he was told by Siku Naidu, yeah, he was told by him that
yeah.
Vinu Mankad was told ki, in India we can produce 100 other Vinu Mankads or 10 other Vinu Mankads. I'm forgetting the exact figure that he was told.
yeah.
So, he replied to the telegram by an article in the newspaper. He said, I will see
Wow.
where these 10 other Vinu Mankads come. First match, India lost by an innings, lost within 3 days. He was called in. He ended as the highest wicket taker, highest run getter in the series.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, I
story.
mean, yeah, that's quite a good story there. I think whenever we bring in Kushagra and all of these people, just tap them on their back, just remind them of some story. They'll keep continuing. It's a lot of fun to listen to that. Yeah, thank you so much, Kushagra, for that. Yeah, and makes a valid point with reference to what is happening right now.
Joe Root has to play. I mean, this a final comments. I'll
Yeah,
take your guys' leave after that. But he
yeah,
has to listen. To be very honest, he's one of the best players in the world.
yeah,
Best players. It's a loss for T20 cricket. It's a loss for Joe Root, but it's not as
yeah,
much as a loss for Mr. Joe Root as much as
yeah,
it is for international cricket that he doesn't play T20 cricket for England. I feel it's a
yeah.
genuine loss. It's. I mean, everyone doesn't need to go hell for leather. Everyone doesn't need to score at a strike rate of 160, 170,
Yeah.
right? We are talking about accumulators and strikers in India. Where are those accumulators in England? I can see an Owen Morgan who can play both the roles. I can see a David Malan who can probably play both the roles, but he has a problem with the spinning tracks. If you
Yeah.
had a Joe Root instead of an Owen Morgan, you've got Butler, Roy, Bairstow after Joe Root, Stokes after Joe Root. Then you've got hitters at the death. What is the problem? Why can't Joe Root be the number three in this English batting lineup? Why
He
can't
can.
he be the number three? He's bloody good.
So you're going to put Root in
And
for
Joe Root
Milan
has a
then?
golden arm as well.
Yeah,
Joe
I would,
Root,
I would, I
if
would
you,
put Root in for Milan, especially when you have the World Cup in India.
yeah,
Maybe for
and
the Australian World Cup, Australian World T20, you put in Milan. But for
Yeah.
this T20, you take Root, man. He will,
Yeah.
as soon as Kalyan mentioned, he's brilliant with this playing against the spin. Plus, he can give you that odd couple of overs if need be. Suppose you
if
Yeah.
you
have that
remember,
amount of dew
even
as you had
against
last night.
West Indies, even in the
Yeah,
World Cup final, World T20 final, he's the one who picked
He
up
picked
Chris
up Chris
Gayle.
Gale. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes.
And
He
Kalyan,
bowled the
Kalyan,
second over. Yeah.
if you have conditions like you had last night, when you have so much dew, his round arm action is a godsend. He can just
Yeah.
simply bowl straight and get wickets.
yes, yes.
Yep.
And Root is as good as any other English spinner in these conditions. Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There aren't many. I mean, he's not
So
competing with a lot of people there, but
on that note,
yeah,
AP,
Kushagra has to push.
I'll
Yeah,
request.
yeah,
Yeah, my
yeah.
phone's about to switch
Thanks,
off
mate.
now.
Yeah, it's all right.
Thank
Have
you
fun
so
at the
much, guys.
wedding.
Suvijit,
Some
Kalyan, Nathan, thank you so much for joining, guys.
you must see this. Apparently, some people believe you are attending Bumrah's ceremony, but yeah, it's not.
If only, bro. I don't. I
Yeah.
only get family wedding invites. I don't really get such invites. But
Hopefully, in the future.
many congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. there as well. Sanjana Ganesan and Jasprit Bumrah as well. Heartiest
Yeah,
congratulations to the two of them.
yeah, man. Bye. Hopefully, the food is good over there. Take care. Yes.
Gonna eat soon.
Just
Gonna eat soon.
yeah, you should. Yeah. Thanks, man. So let's let Butler do the batting. Let Butler's bat do the talking for us, Nathan. Okay. Apparently, there are some people in the comment section who've changed their preference. I mean, what do you say, allegiances? They are supporting England in the series because Shashank has a very good agenda. I mean, very not a good agenda, but he has a very set agenda against Virat Kohli as a captain. So, any
Oh,
CSK fans here?
I thought
Yeah,
he
yeah.
meant Rajasthan. I thought he meant Rajasthan when he says do the talking, not England.
All right. Okay, yeah, I think you got it there. You got it right there. I think my unfortunate fan club is here. I don't know what are they doing, but thanks, man. There is Miss Neeta Ambani also there. Envelope has reached the ECB office. Mumbai Indians will win the series 3-2. All right, Kushagra sir creating the ceremony said, yes, he's back. I think he's talking about the fan club. The hat is on. Yes, the Lancashire Lightning hat is on. Nathan back with it. Kushagra live from a shadi. Food blogging. No, there is no food vlogging. Completely agree with Kushagra, says Amit. Yes, I think a lot of people would do that. 5 years completed since 2016 World Cup. Yeah, exactly on this game. Virat Kohli did this to Sachin Tendulkar when he was in the stands. That was quite a frenzy game that day. I mean, not the most entertaining of games. I think just the hype around India Pakistan made it look a little better than what it was. But what a mockery of women's game by BCCI, as they have scheduled both men's and women's games starting at the same time tomorrow. Yeah, man. I mean, what can we do? But I think in a fact that this is the last T20I. But let's see. Hopefully, the other T20Is can get a little more coverage than tomorrow. But yeah, I think I do agree. It'll be a little bit of hit for the women's side. If you get a crucial game on a tacky pitch in T20 World Cup where 150, 140, 150 is a par score, then you need someone like a Root who's a great against spin. Yes, Amit. I think I'll come to Suvajit on this. Suvajit, especially we see a lot on especially on our Facebook and Twitter debates that there is a set standard for T20 cricket, and batsmen should definitely be able to hit sixers. We should be able to play at a strike rate of 130 and all of that. But I mean, Joe Root can do that. But at the same time, do you think not including Joe Root in the English side, would that be a big miss for them?
See, I would not say that Joe Root is a must addition, but Joe Root
Yeah,
is someone they can definitely have in the squad.
yeah,
Like one mentioned in the comment section that when you are playing a long tournament like a World
yeah,
Cup, so there might be certain pitches where you know uh, you know that these are going to be low scoring ones, or it might spin a lot. So on those conditions, root could be a handy option. And again, I'm not very sure about David Malan's ability against spin. So
Yeah,
which hardly play a role. I don't know ki, how much will be the due factor. Once the tournament starts later this year, due would be
yeah,
playing a role. So, but David Malan, he's done very well. Like he's the number one T20I batsman, and even otherwise, not just in international cricket, even in the format. Otherwise, he's done very well, and I don't see a route. Replacing him anytime soon, until and unless there is a uh, it just figured out that Malan has a serious problem against spin. But when
yeah,
people I was seeing a lot of people commenting on David Malan's strike rate and the approach. But honestly, like if you see how he bats, it's initially in the first I think 12 to 13 overs, 14 overs, he bats at a lower strike rate, and after that it simply he takes it on like 200. Probably that is a method that has worked on it, worked for him. But unfortunately in this particular series he's got out.
yeah,
So that could be a reason. It's too early, I mean, but yeah, they could. But then there is another set of people who would come and say that if you have someone like Joe Root, then you can't bench him and you have to get him
yeah.
in the. But I don't think cricket works that way in
That way,
today's
yeah,
time. And probably a part of New Zealand's success in 2016 World Cup was, they were playing horses for courses when the match was
yeah,
when the ball was spinning. I mean, they were benching Trent Bolt and Tim Southey, and if you
yeah.
remember the first match, I
The
think
opening game, yeah, against India, yes. Ish Sodhi and all of these people were playing.
yeah, yes, Suri and Santana won the
Game for
won
them.
this against India. So that works. So if they can be flexible in their approach, I definitely see place for Joe Root in the 15 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fair enough, fair enough. I think Shashank is saying, haha, can't we support England? Yes, I mean, come on, man. You can support any team you want. We get Sritama on the panel on a regular basis. She supports New Zealand. I mean, hum kone bolne wale. You are more than welcome to support whoever you want. I'm just kidding there. I like Morgan Butler Stokes for various reasons. I hate VK for various reasons. Okay, fair enough. Root average in T20I 35 at a strike rate of 126. Yes, I think that's fair enough numbers, I must say. Talking about numbers, one player, Kalyan, who's not been accumulating a lot of numbers in the current Indian side, that is KL Rahul. When you consider in the last couple of years, his stats definitely are fabulous. And yes, he's had a decent IPL as well. He got the orange cap and all of that. But still, there were a lot of people questioning his approach, especially in the IPL, because there were a lot of games where he wasn't really catching up with the strike rate. And Nicholas Puran was doing a lot of the game-changing batting for Kings 11. But leaving that aside, do you think KL Rahul, you know, does this performance put his World T20 position in sort of jeopardy?
No, even if he gets out for the first ball and if he got a 500 run IPL, he'll again be back in the Indian setup. I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah,
It shouldn't matter. But I support Rahul. Even
yeah,
though Ishan Kishan has the license to thrill, I would still go with Rahul for one last time probably. And even I'll leave it to the IPL. I'll choose the World Cup squad according to the informed players in IPL. So that is the even Kohli said we do not have any T20 internationals coming up. So IPL is the only reliant factor here in
yeah,
picking a good squad.
yeah. I mean that obviously that makes sense as well. All
But
right.
for me, if
Yeah.
talking about World Cup squad, uh, I do you does any of you think Washington Sundar fits into the 15, if at all, if you have to pick a 15 right now for India? So that
Surajit. Yeah.
I think yeah, he does fit into my 15.
Okay.
okay.
He does
Fair
fit
enough.
into my 15 Sundar. But then again, one guy who will be up for that particular spot will be Ashwin. And
Yeah, man.
this IPL will be very, very crucial.
Crucial.
And again, like when you're talking about KL Rahul, he's a fantastic player, but I honestly I'm not really happy with the approach that even I think his
Fair enough.
batting actually ended up hurting Kings 11 Punjab last season because lot of the knocks were probably there were slow starts
Lackluster.
and converting them. So and again, if you ask me, in today's T20 world, this orange cap is a hi Prathamesh. So
Yeah,
so this orange cap is a very flawed concept. I mean, you can
yeah,
stay there and you can score as many runs you want, and at the end of the day, what it does to your team. I mean, if it's
yeah,
not helping, probably I think Nicholas Puran had a much higher impact, and even Mayank Agarwal in the early part of the tournament before he got injured. One
yeah,
guy I will be very keen on seeing, along with Ishan Kishan, is Prithvi Shaw
yeah.
this IPL. And probably at the end of the IPL, we might be talking about a different opening combination for the World T20.
Yeah, I think especially the way Prithvi Shaw batted in the Vijay Hazare Trophy, I think it was clear preparation for the T20 games and the big series that are coming up. Obviously, there are two, not one. There's one in October this time, and there's another one next year as well. He looks yeah, as Prathamesh comes in, I think it's a good time to pose that question. I think he's been following Mumbai for obvious reasons. He's following Mumbai cricket in recent times. They've been absolutely blasting it. They've had a very horrible Syed Mushtaq Ali trophy, but kudos to the way they performed, and it had uh, I think it predominantly had a lot to do with how they played, uh, especially how Prithvi Shaw played. I think he, for me, was the entire game changer in the series. Even in the final, he got that, what, 38 ball, 73, 74, something. I think after that, I know Aditya Tare, fabulous knock in the final, but he keeps setting such amazing tones for his teams, and he's definitely back in the contention, isn't he, Prathamesh?
Prithvi Shaw, I mean, Prithvi Shaw is absolutely brilliant in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. We saw
Yeah,
it was not just the amount of runs that he scored; it was just the intensity with which he scored those runs. I mean, just look at the final. We all know how well Aditya Tare played, and massive kudos to him. But the setup was done by Prithvi Shaw for him already. The semi-final was almost single-handedly won. He scored multiple hundreds. Didn't didn't I think the Mumbai team looked absolutely incomplete without him in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, and just that solid opener who can score at a very very brisk pace, and that was something that Mumbai did really well when it came to the Vijay Hazare Trophy. You're right. I think Prithvi Shaw has been one of those players who obviously got targeted after the obvious issues that he has in his game. Um, Unfortunately for him, those issues got highlighted at a place where he got replaced, and Shubman Gill, to his very good credit, did well. And I think good for. I mean, I feel happier for Prithvi Shaw that he actually got this chance to go to Vijay Hazare and score runs rather than someone like a Mayank Agarwal who had to warm the bench and still be in the situation where he was. Because I think although we see in the white ball there is not much of swing, there is not much of the similar kind of world class bowlers that are available when the Indian first teamers are not playing in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. But I think one thing which we saw definitely from Prithvi Shaw in that entire Vijay Hazare journey was just the authority that he had over each and every bowler, each and every team he possibly could. Just the ability to stand in big games, the quarterfinal, the semi-final, the final, where everything matters more than it usually does. And I think Prithvi Shaw stood up brilliantly in all of these games. So I think
yeah,
good signs for Prithvi in that sense. And generally looking forward to him in the IPL. Obviously Mayank as well, because Mayank was a very curious case because we all felt like Mayank Agarwal was the solution, and I still feel he is the solution for India, opening the batting in Test cricket along with Rohit. But the things haven't really worked out for him. Obviously, Mitchell Stark got into him, and then he played in the middle order, and then again things did not work out. And it is going to be interesting to see how Mayank plays. And we all know that with Mayank and KL being the opening partnership for Punjab Kings. Yes, Punjab Kings. So yeah, I think that's going to be really good to watch. I think as Shivajit said as well, I mean, the orange cap can sometimes be a little misleading because KL, to all his due credit, scored a lot of runs in the IPL. But it was a strike rate of 128 or 129, and it was not just about the strike rate; it was the number of balls that he actually accumulated a strike rate over, which is where I
Yeah.
felt, Punjab, Kings 11 Punjab rather back in the day, couldn't get that impetus in the innings. And I think that's something that
Yeah.
we saw a little bit of it yesterday in the T20 game when he was 17 balls, 14, just trying to get into his groove. Obviously, he was much better in the IPL, but then we've seen that in KL, and I think that's something that we haven't seen before. This is something that's come into his game, I think, after the last IPL. So it will be curious to see how KL plays in the IPL because Mayank's there, and Mayank can be a again sheet anchor. I necessarily don't believe sheet anchor roles means you play with a 120 strike rate, but it will be interesting to see how that dynamic works. But good conundrums for India opening the batting. Having said that, I still feel Mayank and Rohit in the Test cricket. I think Prithvi in white ball is obviously has to be there. I mean, Prithvi Shaw he's just breaking doors for himself. But it's just that when he comes onto the big stage, I hope he lives up to that. He shows enough capabilities when he gets the chance, and I hope he does because I think with Delhi Capitals as well this season there will be a lot of onus on Prithvi Shaw because with the batsmen that are coming after him, you don't see the same amount of aggression necessarily towards the innings that Prithvi Shaw shows in the innings. So I think this is where his role becomes even better. I mean, even it suits him more. I mean, if you bring in someone like Steve Smith, it suits Prithvi Shaw more. So it will be interesting. This is what I feel. So looking forward to him definitely.
Yes, Prathamesh. Just adding to the point of the orange caps, just a little stat. Among the 12 or 13 orange cap winners that we've had over the years in the IPL, only one of them actually helped his team to win the title, and that was Robin Uthappa. I mean, he was the only person who was a part of a IPL winning team to win a orange cap. Otherwise, no one else did it. I mean, that necessarily doesn't say a lot about it, but again, scoring a lot of runs, that alone is not enough. It's just, I think it's a good point to put out here. uh, okay, I think with just a few more comments, I think we'll just talk a little bit about tomorrow's game as well. I wouldn't play Root in T20, save him for the Ashes. Oh god, the priorities. Okay, fine. Diana Jackson says R Ashwin needs to come back for World T20. Yes, that's true. I mean, a lot of people do think so about that. He walks in for the last 2 years. He has lost the economy rate in the world. Okay. Uh, Adding to Kalyan's thoughts, even I like KL a lot, but if it doesn't perform in internationals and get 500 runs in IPL, VK might not play him because he's doing the same with Dhawan. Last IPL, 617 runs with 2 centuries. But again, they are slightly different kind of batsmen, isn't it? Uh, आई न्यू प्रथमेश आएगा इसलिए रुक गया. अरे भाई हाँ आ गया ये प्रथमेश बस. सुजीत मेक्स क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस विद हिज थॉट्स. भाई बहुत सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट है ऑब्वियसली ही डज. क्या बात करता है. Yep. Shaw has the right mindset now, hoping he does well for the Delhi Capitals in IPL. Yes, he does. The Navjeevan just reminding about the 39 ball 73 that he scored in the final. Washi economy of 7.1 is the second lowest, only behind Rashid in the last 2 years. And Rashid, honestly speaking, he's not been playing a lot of, especially in international cricket, he's not been playing against a lot of the tough people, the big ones especially. I think he's been playing, but that takes nothing away from the kind of bowler that Rashid is. Fantastic. What could have been maybe 6.5, around about 7, that's close to 5 or something. That's because of the quality of his opponents as well. But again, due credits, he's done well in the IPL every time he's been asked. So, but yeah, again, pointing, this was a very, very odd blip in Washington Sundar's case. He is not one of those bowlers who is prone to getting smacked that way, especially the way he bowls the flatter trajectory is always bang on. So let's see. I think Devdutt Padikkal will miss this time in ODI still long. Bro, I think at this time, I honestly don't think Devdutt Padikkal will mind waiting for a little bit while because, I mean, look at the likes of, KL, I'm sorry, Mayank Agarwal and Surya Kumar Yadav. They've had such long waits. I personally don't hope Devdutt Padikkal will have such a long wait. But again, to break into this Indian side, it might be a harsh thing to say, but what he's doing at some point, even that might not be not enough. It is that tough to break into the side. So let's see. He's definitely in consideration. He's definitely in the radar. Let's see. Crazy. they chased 300 plus runs in 41 overs. Yes, Mumbai did that, and quite brilliantly, if I must add. Prasidh Krishna gets a call. Yes, we've talked about that. Navjeevan. Also, I would want like Washi to play in ODI too in Kedar Jadav's role. Yeah, that's a very interesting thought. That I think Kedar Jadhav, for the little time that he was in his prime, I think he was doing a fabulous job with the ball and with the bat. He did lose that little bit little time later, but he was fine. I think that's a very interesting point, Amit. We come to that. Thoughts on Krunal's inclusion in the ODI squad? He had a great Vijay Hazare Trophy, especially with the bat, but the call up was a bit out of the blue. Uh, Kalyan, do you think that was a little out of the blue? I mean, Yasho, I do know Yasho personally, and he's a big fan of KL Rahul himself. We've had some debates over the years, but do you think that was worthy of him? He's worthy of inclusion there. I think you're on mute. Yeah, Kalyan, we're not able to listen. Uh, Kalyan, we are not able. I think there is some problem with the audio there. Hey, no. Mm. Kalyan, if you could just quit and join again, I think there is some problem. Yeah. Uh, so, Vijit, to you, do you think he deserve that?
See, I mean, he's a good enough player to merit a India selection, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And probably Ravindra Jadeja not there. I think he could, end up playing that particular role. But what I am I mean, what I like the person who commented about Washington Sundar playing the role of uh,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Pooja Jadhav was doing, and I
Hmm.
think it makes sense because now we see Washington has really evolved as a batsman, or we're getting to see the that side of Washington Sundar, and definitely he is a much in limited overs cricket. He's a much better bowler as well, and so I
Yeah.
mean, probably I'll definitely play him ahead of somebody like Ronald Pandya, and
Yeah.
it proved to be a very interesting addition to this Indian team. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, especially I think what I do like about Washington is his batting suits the ODIs and the longer formats a little more than the T20s, because he
Yes.
plays he can nudge the ball around. He'll take his time. He can stay in the middle, even if he's
In
not one of
T20s,
those
I
pinch
think
hitters who's gonna. Yeah.
in T20s, I would say that Washington's resources would be best used if he's batting in the power play. Somebody like a
Yeah.
Sunil Narayan. I mean, he
Yeah.
can. But then it's not like, because you see again, he's a very good timer of the ball, and he can just come and play according to the
Lofted
field.
shots.
But once he's coming down the order, he's not that effective and especially it is better when the ball is coming onto the bat. So I agree with you on that. Like it's better suited in the longer format of the game. His batting. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's. I personally feel if he's asked to bat for 1.5 hour, irrelevant of what the task is, what kind of a task, if he has to bat quickly or if he has to just grind out of 1 hour or something, I think he's more than capable of doing that. So I personally do love the way he approached, especially in Australia. I think all of us did. So yes, there's a very bright future there. Krunal is warming the bench until Jadu returns. Yes, yeah. Amit, I think the debate is quite. A lot more easy once Jadeja is back, because I really don't think there is a parallel to Jadeja, not just in Indian cricket right now, but at least as a spinning all rounder, I don't think there is anyone in the world who can match up to that. 2016, if I'm not wrong, Robin. Yes, it was 2014. Robin Uthappa in 2014, when Kolkata Knight Riders won the tournament. It came in slightly. I mean, they had that fabulous second half of the season where they proved that form actually beats consistency over the course of tournament. They beat Kings 11 Punjab in the final. What a great final that was. Uh, Nathan says, Kalyan, you're meant to go quiet tomorrow after England win. Yes, I think we'll get to that. Just before, I think we're closing in on the hour mark. So I'll start with you, Kalyan. Tomorrow, I think it's a pretty big game, especially in recent years. We've not had such a fabulously contested T20I series, especially because obviously we don't get a lot of them. But what are your expectations for tomorrow? Because as looking at our side, you never know when this side is going to falter. And one thing we definitely know for sure is Virat is not winning the toss again.
Yeah, that's true. Am I audible now?
Mm. Yes, you are.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So what I think India should do to zone, as in if at all we manage to win the toss, we'll have to chase, and
Yeah,
we'll probably have to try and restrict England as much as 170 or or below, and that's when we'll have a chance. And for
yeah,
that to happen, we'll have to pick Roy and Butler early. As simple as
yeah,
that for me. So the others are not in as good a touch as Roy is in, right? So
yeah.
uh, I think the task in hand is very simple. Dismiss Roy and Butler cheaply. We are going to win.
Yes, Nathan, coming to you. Do you think Butler has a big one loading tomorrow?
Well, he got a duck, then 80, then a very low score. So if we're going on that category, I think he'll get a finish not out. It's going to, again, I
Okay.
think it's going to be interesting what we do, because obviously a lot of talk was about the toss, and whoever wins the toss chases and wins the game. But obviously you proved
Yeah,
that wrong yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see if we try and do that. But if we bat first, we're probably going to have to score above 180. Probably about the similar score that you guys did to really win the game. I'm confident, but also I know how good India are. So I know I joke about it, but it's not to get carried away. And just
yes.
hopefully,
But you will.
I think.
But somehow you will.
Yeah.
I've got a
No,
bottle of
Nathan, it's
champagne ready
fine. I
to
mean,
spray it.
we've gone past the formality phase. If you want to say something, you can throw it. We'll have some comeback later on. But yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I was just saying I'll buy some champagne tonight and I'll get ready to spray it tomorrow in celebration.
All right. All right.
No,
I mean,
he'll try
England
to
are
feign
celebrating a series win
modesty.
against India. Yeah. England
It's the
He'll try to
celebrating a
most,
feign
T20
modesty, but
series.
he
Yeah.
can't.
He can't. He
it's the
can't. Yeah.
most, it's the most competitive one day one day format that there is at the moment is us against you. So
Yeah.
let's hope
Yeah.
for a good cracking game and an England win.
Yeah. All right. All right. Subhajit, again, talking about tomorrow. Yes. Yes. Especially, I think this is something we've been talking about right from the start. That this, I think, in my humble opinion, right from the outset, the track has not been that bad for batting, and maybe especially when India batted first, we've managed to lose at least 3 wickets in the power play, which sort of put us in the back foot. And if you look at that third game where Virat Kohli played that blinder of an innings, we were 24 for 3, and yet we ended up with a fairly decent score of 155, 157, something like that. And yesterday we saw that we were like 45, 50 for 1 after the first 6 overs. They showed Markwood the respect that he needed to be given. Especially, they didn't try to do a lot against him. Obviously, I think the Rohit Sharma's wicket was unfortunate, but again, this seemed a little more calmer approach in the power play. Do you think that's the way to go on this track?
No, so I think we India got lucky yesterday with
Yeah,
the. I don't think 185, like I mentioned before, 185 was enough on that particular track. It's basically
yeah,
England booked it. Uh, the approach has to be simple. I mean, if you're batting first, try and score. I mean, on this particular, it is a good batting track actually. I mean, if we
yeah,
continue playing, seeing what we saw yesterday, we
yeah,
should be aiming for something not less than 190 to 200, and even that score is not safe against this particular
English
England
side.
side.
Yeah,
And again, we'll have to be very, very smart. As a bowling unit, I definitely feel Bhuvi is a very, very smart bowler. And because see what happens, we have been countering the England batters uh, with the knuckle balls and the cutters. Basically, if you
yeah,
see in both the games that they lost, they have not been able to pick it up, and they've struggled against it. But this Morgan side, what they have done well over the past 5 or 6 years is they have learned from their mistakes, and they have come back very strong. So they will definitely be having a plan. And again, like I mentioned before, that this England side, they take their white ball cricket very seriously. And
yeah.
probably Morgan at the toss, he might have said that no, we are not focused on the number one ranking. But I don't believe all those things. I think if there is one team that is concerned about the T20 ranking right now
That is
is
England. Yeah,
that is what they have been uh, doing. And so yeah, I mean, England start favorites again. Toss will play its role, so I hope India wins it, and they chase first, and if they are batting first, then 190 is a must. And for that, I think the approach has to change. Even if KL Rahul is playing, I mean, he has the backing of his captain, and it's okay. I mean, he can when you're looking to stay there for like 15 or 18 balls, and then still getting out for 13 or 14 runs, you rather have the hit approach. Like you
Yeah,
never know, like in that two or three hits, if they come off, you
yeah,
end up contributing in a in a
and you
decisive way,
gain
or
confidence as well.
yeah, you gain confidence, and your knock becomes decisive in contest of the match. Otherwise, the next batsman who come in, like after 40 runs after 6 overs, and they have to do the they are under pressure. I mean, they don't even have that one or two balls, and then luckily, I mean, every time a Washington Sundar and a Shardul Thakur and all the batsmen that is Shreyas Iyer, and everybody is going to start with a boundary every time. It is not going to happen, and
Yeah,
so rather, why not aim for a better start? So it's, I mean, yeah. So definitely we are all I mean, four of us here at least, we are rooting for India, and
yep,
hopefully we will pull off this. I mean, I call it an upset because this England side is far too strong, and you know this 3-2, if even a, I mean, even a 3-2 win, we should celebrate it like a whitewash 5-0.
yeah, man, yeah, yeah, definitely, especially with the kind of bowling resources we've had, and I think, yeah, fair enough, Subhajit. Yesterday, especially the wickets that England lost, especially, I think if that happened against India, if if Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, all of these people were getting dismissed that way, chasing 180, something like that, I think Kushagra would have definitely lost it. Uh, but it's fine. We'll come to Prathamesh on this. Final
So
thoughts,
just
Prathamesh? Yeah,
sorry, I just forgot to add one thing.
yeah.
Archer's going to get Rowett tomorrow.
All right. Yeah, I think he's had the edge over Rohit. Yesterday, someone dropped in a stat saying he dismissed him last three times. I mean, out of the four occasions or something like that. Well, let's see what happens there. Prathamesh, your thoughts? Big game tomorrow, and do you? I think there is one more. I know it's not much of a worry, but there has Virat didn't really feature in the last part of the game, last quarter of the game, if I could say so. I'm sure there will not be much of a worry, but besides that, do you expect any changes inside?
Um, Anurag, it actually gave a lot of people who wanted Virat out a little bit of motivation. So let's just leave it at that. They enjoyed their half an hour of cricket. So let them just be at that. We know that Virat's going to be back and leading the team.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not that's a no brainer.
yeah,
Nathan, I mean, yes, Archer is going to get Rohit out. I mean, I will give him that. But in the final over of the innings, uh, coming to Shuvajit, I was just wondering, Shuvajit, if it was possible when you were at Raipur, if you could have Sehwag and Tendulkar open the batting with the fifth T20I, that would be so lovely and all our issues would be sorted there and there. But yes, I mean, tomorrow's games, tomorrow's game is a really funny one in a way because I think at the start of the T20 series, if someone told us that okay, we will beat England 3-2, a lot of fans, although realistically knew that this was going to be a very tough one, would
yep,
still be a little disappointed because in Indian conditions, you expect more from your team, you expect your team to dominate. But I think we've seen over the course of the series why England are such a tough team to beat. It doesn't matter which conditions because they have a very good all-round setup. They plan their game really well. I think that is something about England's white ball cricket that just makes you amazed.
yeah,
Um, Coming to the game in itself, I think batting is going to be not just crucial in terms of how the teams approach it, probably also in how the bowling units manage to uh, I think deny the batsman the you would say the freedom of actually targeting those areas where batsmen like to go at. Like you saw with Hardik Pandya, when Hardik was batting, you saw that how Mark Wood and the other bowlers, Chris Jordan, made sure that Hardik's strength wasn't catered to at all. And I think that is where I think a lot of English bowlers will be focusing on. And I know pretty much that the Indian bowlers will also try and do that, with the likes of, we saw that with Jason Roy last game, where not a lot of him was pitched up to Jason Roy. He was made to work hard for the whatever runs he got. With Butler, he struggled a little bit with the initial swing, and I think that's where Bhuvi comes into great use for India. Washington, mark my words, this was the last time you saw him getting conceding 50 plus in T20Is, because it usually never happens with Washington. Just had a very very bad day. Um, Hardik had a brilliant game with the ball, and I hope he continues to do that. I think the Hardik Pandya performance with the ball in the 4 T20, I was the most clear of them all, because I felt whenever Hardik came into bowl, initially he had three balls in his brain when he was running up, and I think eventually when he was running up for the fourth game, he just added one ball and alternate if the bowler batsman decided to do something fishy. So I think clarity of thought for bowlers is going to be incredibly important. Having said that, the pitch, if it is as what it was in the last game, looks like a 200 wicket, but the pressure of winning the series can probably come on to the batsman. I think we might just end up seeing another 180 odd game. But I just hope for India's sake that even if we do bat first, we play our way. We don't try to replicate the English way or the Australian way or the New Zealand way or anything else. I think last inning was pretty much the way we play T20I cricket or ODI cricket, and I hope Indians try to do that more than trying to replicate someone else. There was a little freedom in the way Indians batted regardless, and I think that was visible because there was clarity of thought, and I hope that is really important. As you said rightly, Sujit, 17 balls 14 could have easily been 17 balls 30, and those extra 16 runs would have been absolutely massive for India in the game. So I think that's where KL. I hope KL gets a chance to play, and he gets a chance to prove why he is who he is, and how highly he's touted anyway. So I think if those 10, 15 runs he would get from players who are not in the best of their forms, I think that would just make the difference for India tomorrow.
Fair enough, Pratmesh. I mean, just a final few comments, and I think we'll wrap it up for the day. Thank you so much, boys, for all of you for joining. KL, I think, is just giving his Shashank is giving up his lineup, and he's dropped Virat Kohli altogether. He says, "I'm not dropping Virat as a batsman, but gut feeling he might get a rest." I highly doubt it, as Yasho adds and echoes my sentiment. I absolutely don't think that's going to happen. England 11, Roy, Butler, Bairstow. Where is Billings coming from? Sam Morgan, Stokes, Moyen, Adele. I don't think a lot of that is going to happen, man. I appreciate. Thank you so much for commenting, but uh, I think Virat will rest. Yes, not dropping him. If he plays, still get a Nattu for KL. What Nattu for KL? If they want to defend it again, okay, fine. I didn't really get if what you're.
Anurag, just some stats I'll just present.
Yeah,
Like we talk about Virat Kohli's captaincy. So
yeah,
Morgan has played two series against Virat, the captain. He has lost both of them, and this is the
yeah,
New England we are talking about. And
yeah.
Virat, as a T20I skipper, has a 65% success
Win
rate.
person.
I
Yeah.
think Morgan is 61%. So I just wanted to say that.
And
Thank you,
also,
Shubhajit.
All right,
Thank you
all
so
right,
much.
all
Thank
right.
you so much
to
for saying
add
that.
to add to what Sujit said, he won series in Australia, New Zealand, England, so
Yeah,
and South Africa. Virat Kohli. So that says
precisely.
it all. And he has never led India in a T20 World Cup. So
Yeah.
I think it's high
This is the
time
first time.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time. So people should stop BSing about Virat Kohli's captaincy for next two World T20s at least.
I mean, Kalyan, even if they want to do that, I don't think anyone is really going to change that. What I really love about Kohli's captaincy, it sort of brings a beastly mentality in the side, and in a way, I still give him a lot of credit for what happened in Australia and what kind of mentality that this team exhibits. Okay, we can talk about that for a lot of time. Road to Tokyo 2020, Kamalpreet Kaur breaks women's discus throw national record with an effort of 65. Wow, that's fantastic. Yes, there's been some great news coming in recent times, especially with regards to the Tokyo Olympics. So let's see what happens there. India Sri Lanka final. What a 10-year challenge. Yes, Prakash, that is indeed a very brilliant one. And not to forget, tomorrow, I so wish MS Dhoni was also part of this, but he's not. Uh, Kulasekara is playing, he picked up a 5 for today. I think just that little more replica of it, I think that would have been brilliant. But there are plenty of similarities. There's Dilshar and Taranga opening together. I don't know if how much of a part has Jasurya been taking, Suvajit? He's been playing all games.
Not he has
He
struggled
played
really,
today.
Yeah.
but he has been
Okay.
struggling.
All right.
And,
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine he retired in that Commonwealth Bank series in 2008, if I'm not wrong. It's been a while since I remember Australians giving him a guard of honor in that game in the 2008 series which we won. All right, Mandana, India have done well in the last couple of years, all thanks to the spinners. I wouldn't say that we were bad. I felt we were a bit inconsistent in the bowling. Yes, yes, especially I think the spin department has been such a instrumental thing, and especially I mean, if you consider starting from the 2017 World Cup, we've been in three times in the semifinals and finals, two times in the finals, once in the semifinal of a World T20. So yeah, things are going really well for the women's team as well. No, not this time. Nathan, Rohit show tomorrow. Hope so, Shashank. Mandana also confirmed that India would be going in with the same opening combination they had in the T20 World Cup with Shefali Verma and I think Smriti Mandana batting. Pratham, if you were talking about that a few days back, if or not Shefali would be coming in, I think you've had your answer there. She's back. Off late, Rohit Sharma struggled to score runs at home. Yes, good observation. Yes, he has, but I think I'm assuming that's just a minor blip. 200 runs in 6 innings for Johnny Bairstow since he moved to number 4 with an average of 66 and a strike rate of 149. This expression of faith in his ability against spin paid off for England. Yes, I mean, yes, Bairstow, he is a fantastic player. He has a few weaknesses to his game, definitely, but when he gets going, he definitely is a fabulous batsman. Since 2020, most T20 wickets for India, 20 for Shardul Thakur. Wow. 10 for Yuzvendra Chahal, 10 for Washington Sundar. That's quite interesting. Lord Shardul to win for it. Yes, Lord Shardul was for a brilliant. Come on, man. Come on, Shashank. In Lord Shardul, we believe, says Amit, Indian players win it for India. Haven't seen nothing from him. Yeah, all right, all right. Oh, fine, man. I'm not even beginning that discussion. India post 2016 World Cup have played 23 tests, 23 T20I series, losing 3 of them, and 3 ended up in a draw. That's 17. That's literally winning 17 of them. And come on, I mean that speaks for it, doesn't it? I mean, you get the result, and Virat Kohli has been getting the result, and we hope he adds another one. I think we hope he gets number 18 tomorrow. Thank you so much, Suvajit. Thank you so much, Kalyan. Thank you so much for Prathamesh for joining. I know also Sagar who was there, also Nathan. Uh, as it stands, thank you so much, guys. Hopefully we've just gone past the 1 hour 10 minute mark. I think that's good for on a day when we don't have a lot of cricket. Thank you so much again for joining. Please do join in tomorrow at 5:15. We'll be there for the pre-match and after the game whenever it finishes, basically, and for the post-match as well. Thank you so much in advance for joining that as well. Please do join in. Again, farewell. See you guys tomorrow.